So can anybody sample? Two souls everywhere, dead bodies ratting. Big black rapping, bodies still grabbing. But I ain't gon' cry though, nothing gets swallowed. The Father sent His Son and the truth's gon' follow. This is more like you ain't seen. Swear to God, it's holding me. All right, when life and death go to battle, ain't no telling what's happening, and it is on. If you are not ready for what's coming our way, well, it's going to come anyways. So you can choose what side you're going to be on. Are you going to be on the side of the rising New World Order takeover? And you're going to go along with their agenda? Or are you going to stand on the side of Yeshua and fight against this oncoming globalist agenda? Well, let's get to it. Episode 22. All right, here we go. You know me. My name is Anthony. If you don't, now you do. Okay. Let's get to the news. All right. At the end, I'll talk about Washington, D.C. at the end and how things went at the end, right? My apologies for being a little bit late on updating. Sometimes, Father has me on holding patterns. Sometimes he wants me to go fast. Sometimes he wants me to wait. It was a period of waiting, and then I'm ready today. All right. Here, let's look at some of the headlines today. Focus on Lockdown 2.0. I think it's coming. I think lockdowns are coming. It's supposedly going to come on the 11th. However, I think it's going to happen on Friday the 13th, August the 13th, just like it did last time when it happened on March the 13th, Friday, March 13th. They like to do things on satanic days, and that seems to fit. So that's just my guess. Okay. All right, here we go. Delta vanquishes all rivals as scientists race to understand its tricks. Translation, you're going to need a booster shot. Okay, so if you've already got vaxxed, you're going to need booster shots, guys. It's going to be almost every month. They want to do like 10 booster shots a year. That's right. They want to keep injecting you with their lovely serum of whatever's in it because they have not shown what's in it. World nowhere near end of pandemic, says famed epidemiologist. I don't even know if I said that right, but I probably didn't. Hold on. Where are my notes right here? My notes. I just had my notes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, here it is. All right. Let's see. Worst contagious ever. Okay. Yeah, it is more contagious than COVID for sure. I'm gonna tell you about something a little bit. White House grapples with resurgence. Pediatricians warn, not your grandfather's COVID. Variant sucking joy out of back to school. I told some people, I don't know if we're going to make it to school, which would be what, Friday? I think we have students on Friday. Cutting it close. If we do, it'll probably be only a week or two, but I think they're going to shut us down. We're going to go into lockdown 2.0. I don't know about you guys, but I've been preparing, and this is going to be very different from the first one, guys. It really is. So I hope you have looked at my video called Food Shortages. I think it's episode 16. I don't know. But if you haven't, check it out. You want to get stacked up, man, because this is going to be different, guys. Especially if you're unvaxxed. If you're unvaxxed, they're coming after us, guys. They're gonna come after us, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. So you better stand your ground. Okay? All right. Kids struggle with long haul. Let's see. Florida races to find open beds. Church reeling after 6 members die in 10 days. Austin warns of catastrophe. Vax status has Americans picking sides. That's right. Like some families, I read articles where, like weddings and birthday parties, they were like uninviting people because they were not vaccinated. Things like that. It's going to happen. If you believe the mainstream lie, then I don't know what to tell you, man. But, you need to do a lot more research and stop watching mainstream news. Because people who are vaccinated in, I think it's Iceland, Israel, Gibraltar, I can't even say that name. And you're going to see the numbers rising here in the United States, where a large majority of people in the hospital are vaccinated. Okay, I had a friend, and she was telling me that she's kind of weird because the CEO is telling us that everybody in the hospital who's in the hospital is unvaccinated, yet the staff, we got staff members who are out, a good portion of them, and they're vaccinated. So something doesn't jive here. I think something there either. Okay. All right. Pentagon to require all troops by September 15th. That's right. So now the Pentagon, without FDA approval, by the way, FDA approval is coming though, to be honest with you. I read plenty of articles where it's coming. The FDA approval is they're going to approve it, and then they're going to mandate it. And eventually, yours truly, they're going to say, hey, you got to get vaxxed by a certain day. I mean, I could fight it. I guess I will. I was talking to another teacher. She's going to fight it hardcore. So maybe I'll be on board with that, fighting as long as I can. At the end of the day, it's adios. I have some ideas. That I'm going to teach, like as a tutor, and I'll teach a group of students, and it'll be like a tutoring situation, but I'll be like teaching them as well, helping them with their, homeschool stuff. I don't know. I got different ideas. The bottom line is Yahweh is going to provide. Okay. I have no doubt in that. I have no doubt that he's going to provide. He's going to provide a way for me to sustain myself and my daughters. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to worry about it, bro. Like, this is war. Like Tripoli said, this is war on every single level, financially, physically, spiritually, mentally, everything. And so I just got to give it to him and trust him and not be worried about it. And he's giving me all these ideas, okay, like, I want you to do this. I want you to, okay, cool. Thank you, Father, So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to hustle. If I need a hustle, I'll hustle, man. That's it. I'll ask anybody I know for a job, whatever. I'll make it happen. All right. NFL tensions rise over shot rules. Yeah, they're trying to force a lot of the players, or a high majority of them already took the shot, but the last remaining 15%, I think, they don't want to take it. Man vows to defy judge's crazy order to get dosed. Yeah, the judges are now saying, okay, we're going to line the sentence, but you just got to get the jab. What? It's crazy, man. These people are like, it's becoming way too easy to see behind the veil, like it's obvious when you're trying to force something on somebody so drastically, something is wrong. I'm sorry. That's just the way I see it. Fake jab cards worry college officials. So now we're getting fake. There's a lot of fake immunization cards that you took the COVID. To me, I'm like, guys, here's the deal. Okay. It's going to be digital at the end. I'm going to talk about this at the end. Okay. It's going to be digital. So you could fake it for a couple of months, but eventually it's going to be digital. They're going to track it digitally, to your body. So what's the point of, pretending? To me, I'll be like, no, I am unvaccinated and I am proud. Thank you very much. Because I'm not a guinea pig. I'm not a guinea pig. And the thing is, I'm not anti-vax, guys. I'm anti-guinea pig. Me being the guinea pig, bro. All right, let me just say this, okay? There were two tests done with mRNA vaccines. Actually, I think there were more, but the two main ones that I know of involved rats and ferrets. The ferrets, the majority of them died. The rest of them that didn't die had severe neurological damage, as in mad cow disease type. Type in mad cow disease. Look at those videos. That's what you're in for, okay? If you took the jab, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but I'm hearing it's irreversible. I'm also hearing there's ways to take some of the stuff out. It's a bad gig either way, okay? Like, not good. All right. So with the rats, let me finish off with the rats. With the rats, they did actually a little bit better, but eventually they died, and the other majority of them had severe neurological damage, okay? So that's what we're looking at, guys. We're looking at some severe neurological damage on people. We're going to see if this is true, which I do think it is, because I've already seen personal stories of people getting hurt by these things, okay? Even students already getting injured, having, bad heart conditions over this. It just breaks my heart. I'm like, what are these parents thinking, man? Why would you do that to your child? Put them in an experimental program? You're not even getting paid for it, bro. What the heck's wrong with you, man? And the pharmaceutical firms raking billions. What do you know? Old pharma, they're like, yeah, booster shots, money for us, you little minions. Well, I'm not being part of that problem right there for them. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna do it. Protesters try to storm BBC studios in UK, so there's a lot of protests going on, guys, and it's gonna start here as well. Once you see the lockdowns into effect, if they do go into effect, which I predict, and many people do predict they're going to go into effect here, you're going to see massive protests. I see yours truly out there too. Okay, I'm debating on it, but I said I would fight. So if Father leads me to go, I'll go. I'll do it. Other things, social credit system. Get ready for that social credit system. And if you're not vaxxed, you can't buy food. What about that? Huh? Okay, I talked about FDA approval already. That's going to affect me because basically when the FDA approval goes into effect, I have effectively about 2 months time. 1 month to get the jab, and then the other month for me to become, like immunized, whatever. So yeah, I talked to my boss about that, and she told me it would be about a 2-month process. So we'll see, right? So if it goes into effect, I'm looking at like November, where and it all depends, right? Because if we're on lockdown, then what's the point of? I may not have to get the jab because we'll be at home. I don't know. We'll see how it all works out. What also is key to knowing that the lockdowns are coming? They kicked the mass evictions. They kicked it down the road again. What does that say? Well, that says they want people in their houses locked down. So the mass evictions are not happening. And they kick the can down the road again, but it's only affecting the landlords who, like regular landlords like us. It's not affecting BlackRock or these big corporations. They have the money to withstand this, but the little landlords, I feel sorry for them. And then Fauci, he said the variant is this is the worst variant, or he said like fear mongering or whatever. So it's just going to keep going on and on, guys. If you are afraid of this, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Of COVID round 1, oh boy, get ready for round 2 because we're going to see other things. I already told you, food shortages. We could even be, I mean, talked about World War III, guys. I think China is like moving in on Taiwan. Oh my gosh, that could be crazy if they go into it. We got droughts, we got fires, we got unnatural phenomenon like that. Utah, there was like this huge dust storm that caused like big crash. 8 people died. I mean, there is so many things that I have not even gone over. We got Christians being attacked in Portland. Antifa was attacking them, like literally hunting them down and throwing like rocks at them, stuff like that. We're seeing the rise of persecution, and that's another thing. That's the beginning of sorrows. Check out my video, Beginning of Sorrows. I talk about that. So we're going to see all these things, and now I'm going to get into the spiritual portion of it. Actually, wait, before I do that, I'm reading this book. This book is awesome. It's called The Invisible Rainbow by Arthur Furstenberg. And it's a history of electricity and life. And basically, he shows a correlation. I'll read you this one part real quick. He shows a correlation between electricity springing up around the earth and then pandemic starting. Like, for instance, here we go. The power line age was ushered in by the 1889 pandemic of influenza. Okay, power lines, like power lines or electricity like that. The radio era was ushered in by the Spanish influenza pandemic of 1918. Mind you, these things happened right around the time it started, okay? The radar era was ushered in by the Asian flu pandemic of 1957. The satellite era was ushered in by the Hong Kong flu pandemic of 1968. And then, once again, I'm only on chapter 9 out of 17, I think. So there's still more. He's going to go over like the 1G, 2Gs, 3Gs, 4Gs and stuff like that. But those are pandemics as well that happen. And what I found out, there was a very interesting, and I'll try to find the link and put it in the description. This was written in 2017. And he said, they asked him, what do you think is going to happen when 5G comes out? He goes, all heck's gonna break loose, and I fear for our world. And apparently 30% of us are electrically sensitive to electricity, you know? Well, anyways, what happens in late October? 5G gets rolled out. Where does it start? Wuhan, China, bro. You can't make this stuff up, man. So it starts in Wuhan, China, 5G in late October. I think it was actually October 31st. What do you remember? Dates, right? We're looking at spiritual stuff too. I think it was October 31st. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. I have to check myself. And what do you know? You know, there you go. Started shortly afterwards. We have the pandemic, right? So he's has some really interesting stuff, and yeah, I'm about half now. All right, and I'll report more on it as well. All right, let's get to the spiritual stuff now. Washington D.C. Oh my gosh! So if you watch my last video, it was on Gettysburg. And it was about revival, and I went over some downloads. The first, well, my thumbnail, I'm going to try to put my thumbnail as the picture that represents that situation in Washington, D.C. So hopefully it'll come up and it'll be the right picture. We'll see what happens. But this is what I got. As you know, I'm very anti-pagan, okay? And the Washington Monument is a symbol of Nimrod. It's his missing phallic symbol. I'm going to put the study in the link, okay? And this was a spiritual journey. This was basically something that Father challenged me to do last year, but I was not in the spiritual. Let's just say I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And this year it was, you know? I was really ready to confront and basically issue a proclamation of spiritual war on the coming Antichrist system and the coming man of Antichrist. That's what I was